Driven by purpose. You like that, Shaun? Driven by purpose. I'm your host, Rudy Vertiger, and today I'm joined by Shaun Caps and many others, by the way. So I just want to welcome you back.
Yes, sir.
The most powerful, I think, little segment we could have together, driven by purpose.
It's so good to be here.
A lot of people may ask you this, but in your life, there's a moment in your life when something kind of shifted inside you at heart, or your purpose gave you some deeper purpose. What was that?
Well, for me, that's a very easy answer. So for years, several years, I was in full-time ministry, which is
Really?
which is a comical statement because there's no such thing as part-time, right? If you do it, you do it. And so I was an assistant pastor, and that was my calling and my role. I did not want to be a pastor. I was there to assist and to help, and we did all the things. I'm officiating weddings, baptizing, and
Wow.
dedicating babies, and I was full-hearted. I was content, and I thought I would do that forever, and I loved every minute of it. But there was a distinct moment where it was almost like a slap in the face, like you're going into the marketplace. So not a great student, not excited about school. So my deal there was, all right, Lord, you're going to have to help me with this and open some doors. And
Really?
we don't have enough time for me to say the many ways that the Lord helped me with that and got me through not just undergrad, but law school and ultimately.
So what to school, become a lawyer, now you're a pastor?
No, I was a minister first.
Minister?
For years, yes, and then later my grandfather is the king of one-liners. He's got a lot of them, South Carolina. But I was talking to him about it, and I said, if I go to law school, I'll be 30 years old when I get out.
Wow.
And he said, if the Lord tarries, you're going to be 30 whether you go to law school or not.
This brings up this question. Well, how does your personal why show up the way you live now, or the best? Now, look at it leads you or connects with others. Is that because of the ministry that you're in?
I think so. I think that my answer is always going to be faith drives everything that I do. That's always going to be the answer. Now, whether it's a calling or, I would always say I'd rather be in a storm with Christ than anywhere without him. So if you're, I also believe if you're anointed to do something, you don't have to tell people you're anointed. Yeah. And if you're not anointed, it doesn't matter how many people you tell, right? It won't matter.
That's interesting.
It won't matter. So
yeah.
I feel that I am where I'm supposed to be, that it is, it's more than just a job or a title for me to help people do what I do and be an advocate for them and, step in and be able to help them in a lot of times the most difficult time of their life. So it's a unique opportunity to be a special help to people, and I take it seriously.
Now, was that early on in your life that you knew this, or did it just happen?
Yeah, I think it was later in life. Like I said, I was, later in life, I was content, being there at the church, and I thought I would do it forever, honestly.
Now you say content. What does that mean?
To me, that just means I wasn't really trying to, pursue anything else. I felt like I was where I needed to be. But I think what I have been shown and experienced through all of this is that God is omnipresent. He's in a pulpit. He's on the street. He's in the office. He's everywhere. And I would probably venture to say that more people need that message outside of the pulpit too.
That's interesting. So your why and the way you connected with people gave you a higher purpose for your business, right?
Definitely.
But you changed. Why?
What do you mean changed?
Well, you changed careers.
Well,
you said you became a lawyer.
Yes. Well,
that's interesting. What happened?
It was that whole marketplace thing, right? That I'm going to put you in the marketplace. And I think initially...
Did you ever share this publicly, by the way? Why?
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows my story that knows me. Yeah, I'll tell anybody that'll...
So let's tell us that moment that you haven't shared publicly. There's got to be something that you've never shared publicly. that changed this? That helped you, by the way, realize this is what I need to do. I got to change. A lot of people are afraid of change.
No, that's true. It was a difficult season. I can say that for sure. Anytime, you have those kind of dreams, and at the risk of sounding cheesy, if the dream or the vision is small enough that I can do it myself, then it's not a God-sized dream. It's nothing where I would need faith for. So the things that I had visions for, I could never accomplish myself. So I think those times, if you're asking, that people don't know about, there's a lot behind the scenes, or, if anything happens, people say, oh, it's an overnight success. It's not overnight. This has been, 15 years of toil and prayer, or trying, or figuring it out. And so when it finally happens, it's not overnight to me. There are a lot of times behind the scenes where, there was a lot of struggle and difficult times. And I think having a wife that believes in you, that can do a lot for you, and that can spur you on. I'm very blessed in that regard, and just having a great circle of people around me that believed in me and prayed for me, probably when I wasn't praying for myself even.
Or did you give up on yourself?
I didn't give up. That's one thing I did not do. But it was very hard. It was difficult at times. It was not easy. But I kept going. I kept going. That's it. There was no.
It's interesting.
No plan B.
Yeah. Why? No plan B.
I think I'm not built that way innately. I was just never going to stop.
So how, in your growth, in this growth period, how did you stay rooted for your why? I mean, that's because it sounds like you've been through some real hard times.
Yes. Faith is always going to be the answer. It's always going to be the answer.
That's an easy answer,
but it's the true one.
But give me the truth. Give me the levels of that. Because there's different levels.
There is, absolutely. I would say relying on those people who are that inner circle, that trusted circle. Not just people that have good advice, because we can Google good advice. But
I love trust. Go ahead.
But people we can trust with those vulnerable times and moments.
Okay, leads me to the next question of trust. What if those vulnerability? What if those people disappoint you that you trusted? What happens? Do you lose trust, or?
No, I think we have to have grace for people and mercy, and because I expect that back for me as well. So we're not perfect, but I do know that there are people in my corner who do support me unconditionally. They understand that I am not perfect and accept my faults, and I'll do the same for them.
It's almost like having a pet dog.
Yeah.
Unconditional love.
Yeah, absolutely. We need those people in our life.
Well, you do. You need those people, and I think what you're really saying, you put the right mastermind of people around you that help you get through your struggles.
Yes.
Now, I know you became a lawyer. Where'd you go to law school?
I went to Birmingham School of Law there in Birmingham. Yeah.
So what did you do with your law degree?
So I'm a personal injury attorney. Yep.
So nice.
Yep.
Good for you.
I love it. Every minute of it.
I bet you do.
I do. I get to help people in the hardest times of their life.
Yes.
And when they're going through
that ministry paid off.
Yes.
By having that. Wow. How did you know? Law school's not easy going back to.
Right.
As you know. But you always knew you had that skill and talent to get through it.
Well, I was always a strong writer. I knew I wouldn't have a problem with the writing. I was an English major at Ole Miss before, hotty toddy, and it was just it was the mental barriers. If I could get past that stuff, I would be fine. But being a personal injury lawyer, it is a service industry.
It is.
This is a uniform. If I have a tie on to in my court, it's a uniform.
It's fascinating what you do for a living, because that's a hard why, to be honest, because you got to deal with a lot of setbacks and a lot of research and a lot of entitlement through what they call, I know more than you, I know where I'm at. But you got to come and give the facts and the purpose, and you got to fight for those people.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating that you chose that. But your ministry was the key to help you get there.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah.
And it helps me day to day. So really that's what I'm doing is advocating for people. And
So your why became before your true purpose.
Yep.
Your why, you kind of knew your why, but you had to do something in order to what?
Yep, it was all preparation. It
Preparation.
was all preparation and just leading up to that moment to when we did cross that barrier and get there. I knew what to do with myself, and it wasn't too big. The moment wasn't too big because of all that
I
preparation.
like that. It wasn't too big at that point.
No.
Because now you had your true focus.
That's right.
You know, what gave you the confidence?
Faith.
Again, we all go back to faith. But you had to establish that faith.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that's not it's an easy thing to say.
Yep. It is, and I know what you're saying, trying to get me to dig. That's always going to be the answer. But to take it further, the confidence, I also had, family members and that inner circle that do believe in me. And when you hear it enough, you start believing it that I can do it. I can do it.
It's interesting when you're starting to uncover your purpose. How do you help people uncover their purpose? What's the question you would ask them?
That's a great question. I think what I would do is I would ask people, what would they do for free? If you could do anything, if you could make a difference or work, career, what would you do? What would you pay money to do, or what would you do for free, whether you got paid or not? And I think the answer to that question really gives you your purpose and what you're good at, what you're passionate about, what you might be anointed at doing. If you set out to make meaning, you'll make money.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we reverse that. And
you're saying something important now.
Yeah.
All right. Abundance is important to give back.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're talking about. Your purpose, once you get your abundance, you're not hoarding your money.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving it to areas you always felt you should, or you need to help, or that
Absolutely
type of journey. I think it's a great journey, but a lot of people don't understand it. They become very selfish.
Yeah.
Sounds like you became very selfish.
No, money is just a tool. And I think when people say it's not about the money, it usually always is. But if I was going to be honest, I enjoy every minute of what I do. And there are hard days, there are hard cases. And I just tried a case a couple of weeks ago. It was 6 years of litigation, right? It was 6 years of discovery and depositions and all of that, expert testimony. Sometimes it is a knockout drag battle for years in litigation. But to finally get a good result and to finally give that person vindication and closure is, I would pay money for that moment. It's a great culmination of all of that work. So the fact that that I am able to be blessed financially or provide for my family by doing that it's an incredible blessing.
That's awesome because, you're talking about fighting the big insurance companies.
Yes.
Yes. And it takes.
And they are big.
They are big. And that's your challenge. But what keeps you going? Your faith that we will resolve this. So you got to give the confidence and the patience to that client that we're going to get through this. In turn, God rewards you with other little victories along the way so you can keep going, right or wrong.
That's right.
Yeah, I think we forget that because you will never be left without food if you know how to fish.
Yep.
And if you teach someone to fish, they'll never starve.
That's right.
And, your business is that.
Yeah.
Listen, a personal injury lawyer is wonderful when you know he's on your side.
No.
He just don't want to make money. He wants you to do well and you be taken care of because what happened to you wasn't good.
Yes.
So we got to take care of that.
I'm glad you know that, Rudy. I need to take you everywhere with me. You need to tell everybody this.
Well,
everybody needs to know.
Your research is so important.
Yeah.
And you got to know more than a doctor sometimes. Yeah. And you're gonna blow the doctor away by what you know, because he said, "How did he know that?" You don't have to be a doctor. You just have common sense.
Right.
And have the right people giving you that information. So you got to do a lot of work.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you're being from Alabama, I love it. You're in the Bible Belt, and a good, because when I went to Notre Dame, Alabama was our biggest enemy, right?
That's right.
Hate them. Well, and they're my biggest friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not about hate.
Yeah.
It's about respect.
That's right.
And once we understand respect, that's how you win. How do you tell someone that's still trying to uncover their purpose like that? What do you tell them? Because you have a lot of stories, but and we go back to this question, you answered before, but I'd like to hear a more deeper question that you would ask that person about how to uncover their purpose, find their purpose. Is there a better?
I don't know if there's a better, if we dig a little bit, I think, and this is going to sound like, well, duh, but what are you good at? What are you naturally, innately good at? That skill, whether it's a hard or soft skill, if it's speaking to people, I've learned in this business, there are people that are high academia. Wait, I could never be what they are. But maybe they struggle speaking to a jury in an opening statement,
right?
Because that's a monologue for 20 minutes and no one is reciprocating.
Right.
But some people struggle with that tremendously.
Yeah.
You know what helps me with that? A preaching background, right?
Yeah.
So I was prepared for that. I don't struggle with that part. I don't struggle with a closing argument, right? So I would ask people, what are you innately good at? And then further, to go deeper, if we practice and we're intentional about our craft, then you can truly become like a unicorn, right? Because some people skate by on natural talent and abilities. They never actually increase or apply learning to that. But when you do that, you become exponential.
But what if they have that fear that you just help them find what you're good at? They have that fear factor. Now, how do you help them with that?
I think in the preparation.
But what do you mean by that?
So whatever the thing is, whatever you are good at, if you are fearful of going to school.
Trying that? Did you quit doing that? Did you quit going to school, or did you quit practicing?
I never stopped.
Not you, but
yeah,
that person. Are those the questions you ask?
I would just say whatever that is, you just got to keep going. You got to persevere.
Learn how to fail.
Yes, it's okay, and it's okay to fail.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right if it's not a straight road. Take the zigzags, but get there. Yeah. Keep going. You're gonna get there.
Exactly.
Yes.
I think that's the key. You just said it. Take the zigzags.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants that straight shot.
Yeah.
You got to make a choice sometimes. What is a fork in the road?
Yeah.
And what advice would you give them? Who do you ask for that right or left turn?
Don't be afraid to take that road less traveled. Okay. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to do it. Somebody has to.
Because you could always turn around.
Yes, and somebody has to try. Which leads me to this. We talked a little bit about it, but I wanted to ask you. So your story after you went to school, your 5 brothers ended up going to college after you. Now, they may have if you hadn't have gone to school. But I'm not sure. That's what I wanted to ask you. Do you feel like?
I think what it inspired them.
Yes.
Because we come from a large family, one of 14. We didn't do very well in school. None of maybe a couple brothers, but we had challenges. We have dyslexia. So we had learning. No one knew how to handle disorders like that at that time. So they basically said, you're unteachable, uncontrollable, stupid. And they would tell my parents right in front of us, and we believed that.
Yeah.
Then what helped me was the Navy. When I finally ended up in the Navy, and I became a leader in boot camp because I knew how to fold underwear.
Yeah.
Because I had gratitude. Because the first time I had my own underwear, and I had purpose, I was excited about having my new underwear because I never had it.
Mm-hmm.
So you fold with pride and excitement, and the drill instructor sees that. He sees character. He sees pride. He doesn't see folded underwear. He sees something much bigger and deeper.
Right.
So that's the point. If we can develop character, through gratitude and through things that we think we need that we don't need that we get later. And there's gratitude there. People will recognize your character because that's what you had to fight through.
Yep.
You had to fight through to what people say you can have that you don't deserve to have. Why not? Why can't I go to Notre Dame?
Yep.
Why can't I play?
Absolutely.
All I have to do is work out.
I love it.
And you don't have to be the best. Just go to practice. Show up, brother. Just show up and get beat up and get up.
Just keep going.
To keep going, like you said earlier. So I think that's what, like, if someone wanted to connect with you,
yeah,
how would they reach you?
We make it really easy. Probably the easiest way is the website, capsinjurylaw.com. And that's just my last name, CAPPS injurylaw.com. There's a simple form on the front page. Also, Caps Injury Law or Shaun Caps Injury Law on all social media. I'd be honored to connect with anyone that can reach out for any reason.
Yeah, that's awesome, Shaun. You could do that. Now, do you advertise on TV?
Not TV currently. I advertise on Christian radio.
Yeah.
I love my Christian radio family. WDJC 93.7 Birmingham.
Accidents too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's great.
Yeah.
And I get excited when I meet guys like you because you truly deal from the heart.
Yeah.
And people feel that right away. So they have a trust factor.
Yes.
Now, one last question.
Okay.
Because I know you told people how to get in touch, and we're excited about the fact that we got to do this together today, and we welcome everybody back to a higher driven purpose. But the most important thing is when you sit there in front of me and I sit in front of you, what's your feeling?
I feel inspired. I'm ready to run through a wall. Hey man, you talking about keep going and you get hit, you get beat, you just keep getting up, and nobody likes the person that won't quit. There's something about somebody who just won't quit.
Yeah.
And nobody can stop that or take it away from you once you have that in you, I think.
Well, I also said something earlier, you eliminated fear.
Yeah.
You help people eliminate that fear.
Yeah.
So that's important.